Hey there, have you seen my latest video, Jupiter Gets Emotional? Come check it out at soulmart.me. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. And please forgive my absence the last 4 weeks. I have been facing my own karmic story, which has been repeating and repeating for the last year. So thank you to all those who sent good support, love, and your prayers. I really appreciate it. I got all the notes, everything. Thank you very much. So let's talk about what's going on. Have you had ascension sickness? That's what we call it when you have to grow super fast. When the spirit grows faster than the body, we get sick. Let's look at Mr. Orbits Man. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the planets all align with the chakras. And this map here shows you how each planet aligns with each chakra. Well, the chakra that's been giving us a sick stomach literally has been the third chakra, which is our yellow chakra. That's because thoughts and feelings come together there. Now, for the last year, Jupiter was in Gemini, expanding thoughts and throwing off the two in their balance. Now, Jupiter's in Cancer, having emotions expand and perhaps throwing them away from thoughts. So, put simply, if you're having ascension sickness, having problems eating, which may lead to problems sleeping, really what you need to do is align your thoughts with your feelings, get those two on the same side. Now, the sun is moving into Leo, which means we're working on the heart chakra, that beautiful green one there, and that means we'll be working on it for the next 2 months. You may not know this, but Chiron also rules the heart chakra along with the sun. So, healing, loving, being in the moment, that's what it's about. But let's look at the planets and what caused all this shift, shall we? Here's a sneak peek. Womp womp! That's right. That's Monday, if you don't know. And there's so much going on, I have to layer it piece by piece. It really begins with a soul pyramid. We got a soul pyramid in Earth starting off the week. That's going to allow us to change reality, rapid fire, and fast. On top of that, a soul pyramid in water, a grand trine aligning our emotions so we get used to the way it feels right away as well. A yod pointing to the sun pulls in our intuition and our ability to kill things into love. That's basically a creation yod right there. You can't put it any simpler than that. Then we've got an opposition, a little tug of war between Saturn and the Moon, 2 more oppositions, and a square. That's the one between Uranus and Pluto. We've been feeling that one for a long time. Another square between Uranus and Black Lilith. Oh, that's fun. One more square between the Sun and the Moon, so feelings and our love isn't talking to each other. And one more square. I love is not talking to boundaries. So all these parts of us are talking to us with the trines. All these parts of us are in fights with each other or ourselves. And that's what I'm going to talk about. When we get up in the ascension elevator and get up to the clouds, I'm going to talk about what this means for each of the 12 zodiacs in your rising signs and how it turns into happiness or not happiness for you. Look at that spirograph. It's so pretty. All right, let's not wait any further. Let's take the ascension elevator and take a better look at you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with. We'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Hello Virgos and Virgo risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a new view of you, the bird's eye view. And I apologize for being off the air. I had my own karma I was facing, but I am back, and like a Virgo, I've learned to self-heal. You'd be proud of me. We've got a lot of turbulence going on. I don't need to tell you. Jupiter has shifted from career to society. Let's start there. With Jupiter in Gemini, that was the wrap of the sun in June. So in June and July, I'm taking us back. Jupiter was completing a 1-year transit of Virgos thinking differently about career and legacy, making new decisions about where the future might lie. Those decisions hopefully are based on your heart and what you love and not what you thought. But with Gemini in your 10th house, I bet you it's what you thought. Well, anyways, that is now expanded and shifted to your belonging consciousness, and that's where you'll be growing for the next year. Virgos and Virgo risings will be retitling themselves in society. No matter what you thought you were or what your title was, you'll find that it does upgrade. This also means you will stop hanging out with certain people in your life, and probably already you've seen some of those bombs going off since the 4th of July. No pun intended. But Jupiter in Cancer putting a lot of emotional pressure on how you associate and what you feel like you're connected to. Now, all this has to do with where your own heart feels it belongs, and that's really a big part of this, where Virgo's heart, or where they're being honest with their heart or listening to their heart. Virgo risings are completely included in this, although for Virgo risings, this may be the first time in your entire life you've really started to listen to the heart or not. So the real lesson here, as Jupiter expands your social and public awareness, is where does your heart belong? Where does the inner child belong? Where are your real friends? And that's where your heart will resonate. Now, let's take a look at the month from a literal perspective. You are working on inner faith this month. That's what the sun in Leo means, even though Jupiter is helping you belong. That starts with intuition and clearing out the weeds in your soul garden. So right now, literally, as this video is posted, you are facing self-sabotaging behavior. This behavior that starts subconsciously. So if you find yourself up at 4 a.m. eating ice cream, that would be a weed in your soul garden. Not that it's bad to eat ice cream, but that you find yourself doing it, all right? So clearing out that self-sabotage behavior, opening up your psychic awareness and intuition, that's the theme of this week. Now, looking at the planets, only the sun has made it to Leo. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Black Lilith, that biatch, is still digging around over in Cancer. So you still got a lot of stirring going on with where you belong in the world. And you will. Jupiter will be there for a full year till July of 2014. But the sun this week will take you with inner faith from thoughts to healing. So on Monday, you'll probably have a lot of corruptive thoughts, and that's where it begins. Really making sure you have emotional boundaries, keeping your mind positive. All those planets back in Cancer are pushing for you to move forward in society, even though you're quite subconscious right now and don't feel like doing anything. You just want to stay in the house. Now, Saturn in Scorpio says you must move ahead with personal emotional boundaries in the head. Move ahead in the head. Step 5 means no negative thoughts. You're out of time. If you do it, you deserve to sink. All right, that's it. We can't build inner faith if your mind's still beating you up. So no more reminders. This is it. It's now up, and away with your thinking until March 23rd. But Pluto is retrograde. Now, that is actually the heart story, the story of where your inner child actually is. Well, you're not sure. You're reconsidering what your heart really wants right now. And right now, you're trying to get more in aligned with what your heart wants, which is the whole social issue. So you are reconsidering what the heart wants until September 21st. So I wouldn't force yourself to make any decisions until then. Not nice of you to do that to yourself. So let's take a look, first of all, at last week. Last week, the sun entered into Leo, and it started off with a full moon. That was a tug-of-war right off the bat between faith and reality. So real inner faith, tragedy, or worry and whatnot, because the details of reality were tripping you out last week, Virgo. Well, you know how the details do get you. Hopefully you did just detach and say, screw it, although that's not the end of it. Over the last weekend, more breakdown of inner faith. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, breakdowns for Virgos and Virgo risings when it comes to your inner faith. Now, any lack of faith is because you're not connecting to the truth of your spirit. You're worried, you're letting your subconscious be filled with clutter. I look at our subconscious like the asteroid field of astrology. It's full of a whole bunch of junk from past lives that doesn't apply but still haunts us. So this week, as we move forward, is about identifying those asteroids in your spirituality. As we move into this week, that's what you're doing. Intuition rules really heavily this week. So Virgos will be more psychic than ever. Jupiter at 7 degrees, first of all, makes you very intuitive about the right people and the wrong people to associate yourself with society. If you hear something interesting about a, quote, friend this week, it is the universe giving you truth. Listen to that. Now, you do have to ask God, universe. Neptune is retrograde, but at 4 degrees. So that means spiritual miracles are possible when you ask. All right. Now, since you were in inner faith transit, this would probably be the best month to get on your knees and pray, Virgo risings. But you'll find what you're trying to do is get to the root of the weed so you can pull it out. You'll find on Tuesday the 30th and Wednesday the 31st, you are the most psychic those 2 days. And with the lightning bolts, that's potential for spiritual miracles. So at least go to church on Tuesday and Wednesday. At least watch my show, Practical Wizardry, on Wednesday. That would help you out. But it's by Thursday that you must decide what self-sabotaging behavior must go, what weeds must go, what subconscious behavior must go, and if you're having issues with staying sober, some of that kind of acting out, what needs to stop. All right? This is, that subconscious for a Virgo and Virgo rising must be self-loving. You must feel like a Leo on the inside, which I think this is the whole secret of why Virgos have that, quote, virgin appeal. When your subconscious is clean, which means your conscience is clean too. You seem virgin-like. That's because your spirit is Leo on the inside, and that's a star. So you are polishing your star and getting rid of the junk. And Thursday, you're deciding what goes, what bad behavior goes for good. Then Friday, you're going to act on that. So for those of you who do not face their weeds, this would be a very dangerous weekend. If you have a Virgo friend or Virgo rising friend who drinks too much or something, Friday is a death day. There's just so much energy there. Be careful. That 9 degrees will sabotage if you haven't pulled the weed. It's the energy there to pull the weed. Then on Saturn Day, you're loving and trusting that everything will be all right, and it will, of course. So you're holding space for ending that chaos on the inside. Let's take a sneak peek at next week. Next week on Sunday, it's energy. So Chiron, your home planet, rules the day on Sunday, so you'll be feeling very peaceful no matter what happens. Get to Sunday. But the turning point of next week will be Light Cat's Day. That's Tuesday, and that's the day where you want to, basically, you're going to have profound breakthrough, hopefully, with your inner faith. But at the same time, it could mean some sort of breakthrough in society. That spiritual miracle lineup that I talk about in the Act 2s, they line right up there on Tuesday the 6th. These graphics come from the Act 2 videos, by the way, if you don't know. But before I let you go, let's take a quick look back at Earth. I got a couple of things I want to point out. One, if you don't know, my Jupiter Gets Emotional video is going to help you get into that place where you belong in society. I cover 6 long months, twice the size of an ACT video. It's a downloadable video or an MP3 if you want to listen to me in the gym. Either way, check it out at soulmart.me. They will help you with all that social planning. And the Act 2 videos are now on sale for $3.99. If you didn't get one, pick one up with your Jupiter Gets Emotional. The two together will give you binocular view over your spiritual life. And you have till the end of the month to get a Serious Joy reading for just $99.99. That is a 1-hour reading with me over Skype that's recorded via MP3. I always change people's lives in readings. I'm very proud to say. Give it a try. All of these, of course, are available at soulmart.me. Lastly, I do want to personally invite you to my guided hangout. It's Practical Wizardry. It's Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. This is my show where I help you step into your magic, step into your heart. And for Virgos, that means step into your inner faith. And I do step by step. So come on down, take a look at it. We do record it if you can't make it, but I would love to see you stepping into your practical wizardry. All right, Virgos and Virgo risings, that's all I have for this week, but I'll see you next week with more. Until then, live, love, be.